Hey guys, hope you're doing well. This is California Firewomen, and my name is Athena Such.
And I'm Kelsey Kutter.
And we are on episode 8. I have to do it in fingers. Episode 8. Here we go.
Here we go.
Today's topic is Women in Fire 2023, hosted by Camp Blaze, NorCal WFS, and also this time it was with Alameda County.
Yes, we did. We went to the Alameda Training Center.
Yes.
The event was hosted by about 30 women, and there were about 40 women that were in attendance. I think their total was like 80 women total. And it was people from all over, Alaska, Washington, all up and down California.
LA, San Diego was there.
Yeah, it was a really nice mix. Unique to see that many women in the service in one place. Usually in our trainings or expos or just anything that you see is usually male dominated, which is nothing wrong with that. Like, that's been the history of it, but
Right.
just unique
Yeah.
to be there and witness all of that.
I think everybody that asked me how was it, I was like, the only thing I could think of was phenomenal. Like, it was phenomenal. And I think we talked earlier this week, and I was like, we're having trouble describing what we went through and what we experienced the whole weekend, because you can't just say it in like 2 sentences. It was like, there's just so much. There was feelings, feelings. I think I cried like 3 times the first day. Happy tears, things that like people were sharing stories, and just the beauty of it all, of us being together in one place, and a safe place.
Yeah, to
learn.
be able to share those
Right.
emotions and not be knocked for them, and not that we get knocked for them all the time, because I don't want this at all to come across bashing men or like that you need to do this without men, but just how cool and how special it was to be able to have just women, because
Yes.
that's so rare. Like,
Yeah.
I just went through an academy that was 17 of us, and I was the only female, and you were the only female instructor to come through other than Chief Petty. That's crazy.
That's why I was nice.
You were
Okay.
inspiration.
Oh, good. So yeah, close to 100 women that whole weekend, coming and going, training, learning, sharing, emotions, good ones, excitement, food, lots of food. They fed us so well. Thank you.
My other fellow hungry women.
Oh, yeah.
That was nice. That was nice. We were constantly, everybody had pocket snacks.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
nice.
So let's talk about day one. When we got there, what was your feeling as we're walking up? What was going through your mind when you started to see all these women, trickle through from all over?
It was cool to just be like, of the dominant, not dominant, the more of the ratio. Like, we were not the minority in that moment. It was nice to be able to be like, whoa, okay, wow, this is a lot of power. There's a lot of people. You can see because I'm just in the baby side of things, so just coming into the service and just having my eyes so wide open, it was unique to walk up to a training for the first time, to see women fire, like, in a big old sign, and then like
It's for us. That's us. They're talking to us. I'm here.
Yeah. It was just surreal.
Yeah.
I didn't know how it was going to go. I didn't know how everyone was going to treat each other.
Right.
Because historically, women don't get along, and they're catty, and like, we don't have women friends, and like, that's just been a history for so long that I don't think women really do feel.
Right.
I think we've been pushed to that feeling, but it didn't exist at all.
Right. I think when I was approaching and I saw the different women, I was kind of like, I'm not sure. How is this going to go? We've never experienced anything like this before, so everything was brand new, and I didn't play sports growing up. I don't understand what that's like to have that. They always talk about the guys, the locker room chatter for the dudes. Well, I didn't have that because I didn't play sports, so I don't recall those conversations. So I wasn't sure what to expect, seeing all these women from all over. Were they going to be nice? Because I've met some on fires out, on wildland fires where, I'm like, hey, what's up? How's it going? And they're just kind of like, oh God, I'm like, okay, maybe I'm too much. Maybe I need to calm down a little bit. But I see one and I'm like, hey, you're like me. I'm like you. We should be friends, So
We're the same.
That's how I felt. Like there were so many there. Like we couldn't even by the end of it, couldn't seem to meet everybody. So back to the day, as far as the rotations, what was that like? What did we have?
All right, so the first station that we came across was saws, chainsaws, and rotary saws, and just learning to use them on the roofs, the pitched roofs, and a flat roof even, for just preventative. I didn't know that that was a thing. So, and using our tools, like a Halligan as a little step stool or a little stepper tool, and just you learn so many things that you might have already covered, but it was nice to go over again, to get your hands on it, to see it from a different perspective, and to see everybody like already in the service. These weren't people that were looking to be in the service, they were already in the service. So to be surrounded by that of people just wanting to better themselves and better their craft, that was cool.
Yeah,
because everybody had that like-minded, like, I want to do it.
Right. And I loved how every station, they were like, hey, if you have anything that you know that works well for you, that you may want to share, we're all about sharing our different tips and tricks. So that made it very inclusive, because it's like you had women that had less than a year, you know, reserves, all the way up to seasoned, you know, captains. I think were in some of the rotations as students or campers, you know, there to learn, and that was really awesome. I really liked how they emphasized that, hey, if you have something to share, it might help somebody else. So it made it very open and welcoming. So chainsaws, how do you like chainsaws? Is it your thing? Is it
I'm not scared of them, and so
well, that's good. It's a great start.
It is.
I used to be, so I totally get it.
They can be scary. I probably should be more scared of them, considering how they can mangle you.
Yeah, it's probably safe. Not a bad idea.
But so I just don't mind always getting my hands on them, just because it's nice to remember the cuts, the louver cut, and just in case. I feel like I'm more of a truckie, just kind of a brute. I want to go cut things and break things.
Once we get a truck, I'll probably be feeling the same way. But you're right, we just don't get our hands on it enough. After we had chainsaws, we went to our next rotation was
RIC, Rapid Intervention Crews.
All right.
How to utilize our bodies in different ways of pulling people. And it was just cool because I think a lot of different things happened in that station, but one of my favorite ones was being able to buckle my SCBA my SCBA buckle into their SCBA, and to hold them up by my hips and walk them up, which might have been taught somewhere else, but I had not been taught that yet. So that was a cool way for me to be able to have my arms and my upper body for stabilization.
Yeah, I don't recall ever doing that either. That was really neat, seeing you guys go up the stairs together, and then having that person on the bottom with their legs, and then keeping their cylinder off each step, lifting them up and assisting on the way up. You guys made it look so easy. Like it was, I was like, wow, that was awesome. And then we also did some drags on the ground, right? We were dragging around.
And it was cool because like that one, again, they put like the axe tool through the SCBA pack and just drag by the axe, which was nice because it's just more leverage.
And then we did some webbing. There was like, I'll never forget it, because the instructor said, place it down across their chest like a 7. So the webbing is folded, and then you got it going across, but one of them, the one towards the leg, goes down through their leg, and then the other one you get pulled back underneath their armpits, and then you hold that, and then you drag them off. So 7. I was like, oh, that sticks well. Just make a 7, lay it on their body, and then go. And then we also did bailouts, right? Coming down, what was that, 2nd floor?
Got to be on a wooden ladder for the first time ever. That was unique.
That was kind of sketch.
Yeah, like it was like, not that it was crickety, but you know.
I know it was tied off. We were safe. It was,
I'm just used to those aluminum.
Yeah, right. But I was a little bummed that we didn't get to go all the way down the ladder. Yeah,
there was definitely like quick turn and burn.
Right, we didn't have a whole lot of time, so I can understand that. But to get the what it was, a hose made dummy, a dummy made out of what was that, like 3-inch hose or something. That thing was still pretty heavy.
It was. It was over 100 pounds.
A little awkward too. But that was, neat. A good refresher again for those of us who haven't done it in a long time. I don't think I've carried anyone down a ladder in a long time. And then we also did
learning that in the academy for the first time, bail out sort of thing.
Yeah.
And for those of you just learning, it's when we literally bail out the window. Like
you hold and then swing around. I was just trying to explain that to my son. I'm like, this is what you're gonna have to do. He's like, whoa, Mom.
Yeah.
I'm like, yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when they told us what we were doing and then they showed us, I was like, that's not what I thought we were gonna wake up and do today, but I'm in for it.
You want me to hold on to this and then swing my body out the window and down and hope that I catch myself
and just slide?
Yeah, and then slide down. Okay.
Like it.
Were you guys on a belay or on a safety line?
The first one.
Oh, okay.
By the end of it, we were not.
How funny. I do remember carrying a dude down, and they gave me like the heaviest guy, of course, which was fine.
Why not?
Why not? Of course, let's do it. And I'll never forget because God, he smelled so bad. I mean, I'm not always a flower that smells well, but it was like, oh Lord, I gotta go quick. I gotta get down. I did it.
That's motivation.
Yeah, that's motivation. Oh
Yeah.
man.
The fire women in Camp Blaze, whatever that is, did not smell like men.
We smell good. Nobody stank. I washed my turnouts beforehand because I wanted to make sure I wasn't like that stinky girl because mine were real rancid. I was like, it's time to wash them.
Everybody smelled nice.
And
not that I was smelling people, but like
the things we think about, right?
it wasn't stenchy, you know. Like
all right, well then let's move on to the next. We had lunch.
yeah, and lunch was provided, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, they were giant ass pizzas, I think, and they fed us well, which was cool.
Yeah, they weren't stingy at all.
There was like snacks,
surplus and
candies
water everywhere.
Yeah, it was. You felt like you were really well taken care of.
And a nice amount of time. Like we didn't have to leave anywhere.
Rushed.
So yeah, it wasn't rushed.
It wasn't like Academy. We were like, oh my God, I gotta go back.
Okay, 45 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
Now it's 42 because
you could actually have conversations with these women that were from all over the Pacific Coast and get some time to get to know them and the people in your team. And I really thought that's where some of the bonding happened is during that lunchtime, you know?
Totally.
Like, hey, how did you feel about this? Or how did that go for you? Or whatever. And this was really cool.
They didn't have tables set out the first day. And I don't know if that was by accident, but like it should be strategic that way because it made us all a little closer because we had to curb it up or like, you know, huddle together in the shade.
Area.
Yeah.
That's true.
And it was cool. So like tip for next year.
Yep. No tables on the first day.
Yeah.
Actually, the second day, I was like, that's really nice of them to give us tables.
Yeah.
Chairs.
Yeah. That was,
I'm like, oh.
but we kind of already bonded. So like, it wasn't that awkward. Like, oh, you're just like, hey.
Yeah. And then what?
We went into live fire right after lunch, which was cool if you were the only person on the nozzle, but we rotated 4 people back to back to back to back.
Oh man.
So that was hose management 4 times or 3 times and then nozzle.
Yeah.
So that was brutal but cool because I mean, like, when is a fire scene not going to be brutal?
Right.
But
and you're working, your cat. I don't know. My calves were kind of burning when I was pulling the hose.
All the muscles of rowing. That was definitely my sore spots. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, it was good though. I wish we had a little more, and I wrote this in my little feedback, like, be cool to get a little more fire action. I do like that when we were doing that rotation, they talked about, hey, try not to rip all your gear off your face when you're coming out of fire. And I know that something's really hot that's going around. I saw some post on the gram somewhere, and because we're doing ourselves a disservice when we pull everything off really fast, because in a real fire you may not have that opportunity to get everything off fast, and it'll train you to be taking things off when you're uncomfortable, and we need to learn how to sit with it for a moment, control our thoughts and our mind and our breathing, you know, while we're still all stressed out and everything, so that you're not just tearing off gear and then like causing more problems for you, like as far as breathing and fire and all that stuff, smoke inhalation. So I liked how they emphasized that. I thought that was great.
It wasn't just go in and go around a corner. It was a big old U, and so we like sneaked in.
We played bumper people at one point. Some of the openings.
Well, the captain that was with us, she would show us like go through with her little tick, and when it came to me on the nozzle, she got pulled away. So I was kind of blind. I walked straight into a wall.
Nice. See, and that's why we have all our gear. It's to pad it so that we're running.
My helmet went right into it, and I was just like, whoa. And I'm just kind of,
who put that wall there?
How dare they?
You could easily get turned around in that I mean,
Oh,
there was a
man.
moment where I was like, whoa, where are we? Like for a quick second, I was like, oh, okay. And one of the instructors, of course, had a tick, so they were kind of monitoring where everybody was going. But for
Except
sure,
for when it came to me.
yeah. She knew you were a strong one.
Strong enough to walk into a wall.
Oh man. Yeah, that was great. What else did we have? And then after that, what was our last rotation of the day?
There was a classroom, and so we did IC through leaders' eyes, captains and lieutenants and whatnot. And just when you pull up on scene, what you were looking for, what resources you're looking for, like just how to instantly start IC.
Take control of the scene. And then we did some scenarios, right? They had some photos up on the projector, and we got to practice giving our report as an IC first on scene. So I thought that was really cool. I didn't really expect them to do that, but they're already training everybody to be the leader, right? And to be in charge, because sometimes it may be you, it may be the firefighter, you know, depending on the situation.
Pull up on a 4-car accident in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, wait, that was
Yeah,
you.
that was me.
Oh, wait, that was you. Oh yeah, that was gnarly.
I liked that the chief did it because she had a lot of perspective from firefighter all the way on up through her ranks, and at different stations too. And then we were able to end our day, and it was nice because we didn't have to do too much cleanup. You know, like there's thank you to all the people that did.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Usually,
Thank you, volunteers.
yeah, that was very helpful.
We were able to go relax a little, shower up real quick, and then head out to the C Casa.
Yes,
C Casa, not yes house, but C. Right? Letter C.
Mojo Dojo.
I don't know. Tomato. The taco joint. So that was cool, and got to hang out with everybody, have dinner together, again, build bonds, share, and there was somebody was blessing us with like free drinks and appetizers, but whoever that was, thank you.
Yeah,
We appreciate it.
that was a nice.
It was really
gift.
nice. A nice
The
gift.
restaurant really
Unexpected.
liked us.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, they had a DJ and everything. That was great. So bonds were made there, and then that was pretty much it. We got to hang out. You and I got like a little slumber party action.
And it was a nice little room.
Yeah, it was nice. And then the next morning, we headed out.
Yep.
And what was
We went right into the confidence course, which I think, of all the stations to start, I'm glad we started there because that was brutal. Like I've done some confidence courses where you just kind of like wiggle your way through a
Are you talking about the Academy one?
And then I've done one just at other little boot camps, and like this, they
That's a
led
good
you
one?
through a house, and they like twisted the hose on the
There was
hose,
so much
and
hose.
There was so
So much
much, and you
hose.
went through the whole house. Like you did not. You didn't go from like the living room out the door.
Every corner of that house.
You went from.
And I wish I would have saw it afterwards, because I was like, for a moment there, because you're going in, and let's backtrack before we started this. They get you your heart rate.
Oh yeah, you didn't just enter this.
No. You don't just enter all fresh. No way. She's like, here you go. Grab your hose, run it back around the tire, and then pull it in. Pull the hose into yourself. Then you're gonna grab that sledgehammer and you're gonna hit that tire 20 times, and then we'll let you into the building.
After we black your mask out.
Yeah, we'll black your mask out, and then and then they're like, all right, go. And you're like, okay. And at that point I'm like, all right, I'm good. But man, you're right, all the hose, I swear I was like, did I just get off the wrong hose and I'm going in circles? Like for a quick second I was like, no, I made sure I didn't let my hand out.
Yeah.
But no, for a quick second you question yourself, like, I think I'm going in circles. But I wish I would have saw what it looked like, after the fact, to see how they actually had it set up.
And just the realisticness of being a little tired now, because you don't really think of crawling around as like heavy exercise. But with all the gear on, when you're already huffing and puffing, and it's not like, if you've never worn an SCBA, it's not like you're breathing fresh air. You're still sucking air down. Like it's even harder because there's no availability. So like,
As she told us, one of the instructors was like, we want you to try, you could try skip breathing, or you could do
Humming.
humming. Yes. And I was like, okay, I'm going to try the humming, because while I was in there, I guess it was towards the end, and she's like, slow your breathing. And I was like, okay. So I tried the humming, and it just sounded like someone dying. I was like,
That's exactly how it felt for me.
I'm like, oh God, no, it's too loud. Everyone can hear my pain. I don't want them to hear that.
That's exactly
Like
how
it
it
just
sounded. I was
wailed.
like, yeah, because she's like, control your breathing. I was like, oh yeah. So I was like, I was like, nope, that's not happening.
Oh,
Like,
that was so funny.
there was no humming at
There was
that
no
moment.
humming. Yeah, I immediately stopped. I'm like, nope, we're going to go back to trying to just slow it myself.
I'm pretty
That-
sure I laughed in that
I think I
moment.
did
I was
too.
just like, oh God.
And then after we do that, we finally get out, and you're like, holy crap, we're actually done with this thing. I thought nobody else could go after me, because I felt like I took forever. I was like, how are they going to get, like, am I the only one in the building? Like,
I think they just take you different routes.
okay. Oh, is that what it was
I
happening?
think they just
I'm like-
go this way, because like I got diverted. They're like, stop here, go this way.
Yeah. And then there was a nice fluffy mattress you have to like go over, and then I thought, I'm sounding it, and I'm like, if that goes through, how am I knowing? It just seemed like it was going to get lower and lower as I climbed on top of the mattress. I'm like, I'm sinking. I'll just nap here.
And like, I don't know if this is like a weird like neurodivergent thing, but I was like, ew, bed bugs. Like, I don't want to touch the mattress.
Yeah, like, ew,
Like,
what
ew,
is it?
gross, I don't wanna- yeah,
It's all
ew.
moldy. Good. It was a great training experience, and definitely made me want to do more of that stuff. Yeah, that was a good one. It was long, so kudos, you guys.
Yeah.
That was really good.
That was probably my favorite course.
So glad we did ours in the morning. We got so lucky.
There was a darling gal with a bow, and she was
Oh,
eating
yeah,
lunch
she was
next
so
to me,
cute.
and she's like, how's the confidence course? I was like, eat light. She's all, what? I'm like, eat light.
Eat light.
You
Oh.
might want some pocket snacks for after. And yeah, and
Yeah.
she's all, okay.
Speaking of, actually, I'm glad you mentioned that girl, because I took a photo of her, and I talked to her. I was like, hey, I got some pictures of you, because you have your cute little blue
Yeah.
bow in your ponytail.
Adorable.
Yeah, and I was like, that right there, like, go ahead, girl. You know what I mean? She's like, whatever. I mean, how is this bow going to change what work I'm doing? Like, honestly, it's not affecting anything. She probably could wrap her up, throw her helmet on, and you would
Probably
forget.
tuck the hair in better.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought it was cute, because I was just like, yes, we are women. We can be feminine. We can be masculine when we want and when we need. So I think that's like the beauty of being a woman, a strong woman, right? And it's okay. And I'm tired of that feeling of where it seems like people expect you to be tough. Like, I want to be this tough person all the time. And I think they talked about it, right? Didn't they talk about how women are around men so much in the fire service that one lady shared that she realized she started sitting like a man, and she started acting like a man and talking like a man, and then lost a part of her, and it's because we're trying to belong, we're trying to fit in, and we're trying to be one of the guys. And they emphasize, you will never be one of the guys. You're a woman.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, I was so happy they said that. I felt like the pressure was off of me, like, oh, you know what, you're right. And me, when I'm working, sometimes I forget that, but yeah, you're right. We want to be accepted. We need to be ourselves. And I think that's what she was. Was there anything else?
No, well, it reminds me of a video I watched of this gal explaining how she feels that women that have been talked down about by men typically are the pretty one, the dolled up one, and so or the way that they talk about that person isn't always the way you want to be spoken about. So you try to be everything but whatever that image is. To me, it would be someone who has a bunch of makeup on and who tries hard on their appearance, and there's nothing knocking that, because what I've learned over time is that they love to put their time and effort into that. I don't value to put my time and effort into that, but I can if I want to. And I think there's a lot of power in that. And so to be able to be reminded, because like for most of what we've seen, it's been a lot of tomboy girlies that have entered that service and been able to lay the ground for us. And now the girlies that want to do the same work don't feel that they can have that same space because of the way the men judge, or the way that I have felt judged by some of the tomboys. Like, you don't need to wear that makeup, or you don't need to wear your high heels. And instead, we're just opening up everywhere, where it doesn't matter what type of woman that you want to show as, whether that's like just the amount of jewelry, makeup, bows, all of it was just like, wow, everyone is embracing from full girl mode to full masculine mode. I loved it. And it was very feminine to masculine. Great mix. It was a great mix. And it felt very welcoming that anybody can be anything, no matter the hair length or like style or just nobody. The appearance was just all over great. Yeah, I loved that. I think that was awesome. It definitely made you feel welcome and okay to be you, and however you fall on that scale.
Yeah, like exactly.
I brought some heels for dinner, and I was like, what is the flavor? Like, are we dressing up? Are we
because we can. We could do whatever. Like, you know,
I didn't end up wearing them, but like we could have, because there were some gals that did.
We're dressy.
I respect it so hard. Yeah, like we're finally at a point where we can be the range. Right.
Yes, I loved it. I think it was so beautiful.
We did breaching through walls. We put the sheetrock in on two sides, and we broke through the sheetrock and then crawled through. We made our own hole big enough to crawl back through. And I thought that was cool, because the props that I've used are like straight up wood. It's semi-impossible for one person to do. Like,
and we don't get to do that very often. Yeah, you guys are breaking through plywood, right?
Or something, like when we
OSB, and I'm like, well, okay, get a workout in.
Tools Day was mean in the academy.
Yeah, it was nothing, no technique of anything. It was just get through. You bull head, go through. So
now hurry. I'll take your tool too.
I did catch myself as we were breaching the drywall, and I don't know if it's my impatience or I don't know what's wrong with me, but I was, I made my hole, I got through the drywall, and then I started profiling, so I'm trying to get through, and there was a piece, my helmet seems so big sometimes. I don't know about you. It feels like
Darth helmet from
like Spaceballs. Yeah, that's how it feels sometimes. I love my helmet. I do love my helmet, but sometimes it feels humongous. So I was like this. I was like, and I was like, oh, I probably shouldn't use my head to break through the wall. Probably not. I'm gonna be hurt later. But that's my, hard-headedness of trying to whack through. And I think someone might have got a video of that. But anyways, got through. That was fun, and inspired me to do more of that back home. We have next, or what did we do? We also had
the forcible
entry,
which was cool because I feel like they really gave you the space to pick up the tools and just go into the props and use whatever you want. They were just like, basically, this is the break shit area, and then it was just nice.
Break it. Yes.
Because we were able to just, like for me, I haven't used the forcible entry props. When we did it in the academy, I was on my period. So I was just like, I didn't have any energy. I was like, I don't want to.
Supposedly you have more strength on your cycle, on your period.
Not the day that it starts.
Right, you're just like, womanhood.
Yeah.
So, I watched you, and I was in my little team, and then we kind of split up, and I was watching you as you were going through the force inch prop, and I was like, go ahead, Kelsey, go ahead. I was like really proud.
My inner trucker was
coming out. I could totally, and I could see it. Yeah, I could totally see it. Yeah, that was great.
You were talking about slamming your head through. At one point, I like slammed my shoulder into it to like get it open. She's like, no, we don't do that. Like, there's other techniques.
We don't do that. I know. We get so, just do it already.
Push me there.
I really liked the force entry. That was what I was really looking forward to. I mean, all of it, honestly, and the vehicle extrication, breaking stuff, right? Because we want to break it with style and grace. No, with like more technique and how to do it with our body types and size and all that, strength, etc.
And just learning how it reacts.
Right.
Like if you pop a window, like at what place should you pop it? And how should you hold this tool? And like how can I use my lower body versus my upper body to gain strength or different fulcrum points? And so it was unique to use all those tools and to be able to have them just let you figure it out. That was really nice.
Yeah, I really enjoyed when we was doing the forcing the doors with the Halligan, because you've got, you know, your pick in, your adds in, and then you've got your fork in. And for me, I don't know anybody else, but sometimes I look at that thing and I go, it's like someone called it, it's like brain gymnastics. So I think that was the term she used, one of the instructors. And I was like, yeah, because I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, is it this end I want to use?
Oh.
And do I need to do it this way or is it this way? And so it doesn't come naturally to me. And that's something I want to work at, so that when I go to that door, I know right away, oh, no, I want to use this. And there's just so many options on that thing. You could use it so many different ways. And that was why I really wanted to get my hands on and practice, you know, forcing some doors.
Yeah. And it's funny because like the fork end curves different than the adds, which is straight, but the way that you pry them is a little opposite. So if you were doing it this way, you kind of have to flip it the other way. And then if it's an inward swinging door and an outward swinging door, it's just different on how you do it. But yeah, like first I was like, what do you mean? Oh yeah, using it.
Yeah, brain gymnastics. I was like, okay, I think I got it. So that was great. I had a good time, and I loved the patience a lot of the instructors had, because everybody there came from different backgrounds, different knowledge, different instruction, different time in the job, or, you know, and so we all don't know the same things, right? And I thought that was great that they were able to work with everybody with all different levels.
And a lot of humbleness to be like, this is the way I do it. You don't have to do it this way.
Right.
This is how I've been shown and it works for me. And like for my arm strength or the way that I like doing things. So if anybody else has a better way, and that was just said over and over to be able to allow the space for people to say, yeah, I've used it like this, or I've done this.
In the Auto X portion, same thing, you know, getting in there and using the jaws, the e-tools, you know, cutters, spreaders, getting in there, cutting things off.
My trucker came through again.
Yeah.
It
was good. I saw a lot of women like manhandling the tools, and that just made me like so happy inside. But no, that was great. We got to cut a lot. I feel like it was like a good enough amount of time. You know what I mean? You didn't feel like you were rushed. And we got to do a B post blowout.
Yeah.
You know, take flip a hood. What else did we get to do?
We got to see a hybrid car and the different batteries that are stacked in there, and how dangerous I'm like, I know that they're dangerous, but just to see it, because I didn't get to see that in a few of my other trainings.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah, that was.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of our podcast. We hope you enjoyed our discussion, and we hope you found it informative and entertaining. If you liked the show and would like to support us, please do so by becoming a Patreon supporter. If there's anything else you'd like us to discuss, please let us know. We'd love to hear your ideas for future topics. It helps us produce more episodes for you to enjoy. Keep in mind that part of our proceeds help us to mentor our youth and orchestrate more girls' empowerment camps. We'd also like to remind everyone to follow us on Instagram. We post regular updates. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so don't forget to leave us a comment with your opinion on the show. Until then, thank you for listening to our podcast, and stay safe.